Trop facile les adjectifs en anglais. Aujourd'hui, je vous explique pourquoi vous vous compliquez probablement la vie en les utilisant. Salut tout le monde, moi c'est Georgia, votre anglophone du coin, de retour avec un nouvel épisode de l'anglais en petits morceaux. Et cette fois-ci, je vous ai créé un résumé et un quiz gratuit en complément de cette vidéo que vous pouvez télécharger en cliquant sur le lien dans la description. Alors, comme d'habitude, pensez à activer les sous-titres si besoin et let's start! Adjectives in English are easy. They are so easy, in fact, that I feel like many learners try to overcomplicate them unnecessarily. And yes, I am looking at you, French speakers. Adjectives in English are easy for two reasons. Firstly, the position of the adjective. In English, the adjective always comes before the noun. Now, you might think that's a bit strange, and I hear you, but there are no exceptions to this strange rule, and I think that's great. For example, a red apple, my own hat. Let's compare that to French, where the adjective comes after the noun, unless it doesn't. And then there's a whole list of adjectives that can go before or after the noun, but with a total change in meaning. Mon ancien prof n'est pas mon prof ancien, par exemple. You see where I'm going with this. The placement of English adjectives is very simple. Secondly, English adjectives are easy because they never change to fit the noun. Now, this means we never add an S to the end of an adjective, even when it might feel more logical to use that adjective as a plural. Adjectives cannot be plural. For example, the movie lasts for 2 hours. It's a 2-hour movie, not a 2 hours movie. She's 5 years old becomes she's my 5-year-old niece. The meal was $10 becomes it was a $10 meal. Cream for my hands is hand cream. Cream for my feet is foot cream. A mask for my eyes is an eye mask. Even going to the gym, we talk about leg day, even though we have 2 legs, arm day, and ab day, just 1 ab. Very strange, but that's the way that we say it. I know what you're thinking.
Oh, ça va. Ça va.
Look, adding an S to an adjective in the situations I just mentioned is of course, totally understandable. So don't worry if you do make this mistake. The tips I share in these videos are really just to help you understand how English people think and also to help you feel more confident when you do speak English. However, occasionally adding an S to an adjective might confuse people. For example, I had a client recently in a writing activity who was writing to me about some new shoes, but she had written news shoes. Now, because news is a completely different word, I was very confused for a minute. I thought she was maybe trying to tell me about some kind of news about shoes. Shoe news, not shoes news. Or maybe this. Now, there are some situations in which you might see an adjective with an S, and here are some examples. A girl's night, a boys' school, a children's book, or a men's or a women's magazine. Can you see what all of these have in common? They are all possessives. So in this case, we can use a plural adjective with an apostrophe S for the possessive form of an adjective. Now, something that I haven't mentioned, which some people might say makes English adjectives difficult, is the order of adjectives. So when we use more than one adjective in a row, there is a preferred order. For example, we say a nice little wooden table, not a wooden nice little table. And somehow, native speakers just know to use this order. Now, I don't personally think this is very important or worth worrying about, and there are 2 reasons why. Firstly, I think this preferred order is quite intuitive for French speakers. You would probably use the same order in French. Secondly, I'd like you to think about the last time you actually used, say, more than 2 adjectives in a row in a sentence. I bought a nice little old round wooden table. People just don't really talk like that. And actually this style of listing adjectives before a noun, it's quite reminiscent of what we see in children's books.
It's the hairy, scary, floppy monster.
I would probably say, I bought a nice little table. It's wooden and it's a bit old. Do you agree with me? Are English adjectives easier than French adjectives? Or do you disagree? Either way, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to download your free PDF quiz and summary. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon in my next video.